Hey guys, this is Colin here, and I'm making this for John and for Veronica. Veronica, you are on January 3rd, and John, you are on January 10th. And basically, the reason why I'm making this is because my wife is due with her second child on January 4th, which, as you can tell, means that there's a decent chance that I will not be at one or both of those services to kind of help out with some of these changes. You might have noticed in the last couple of services we started adding the kind of lyrics and verses right down here in that kind of lower thirds thing. Part of how we were able to do that was basically upgrading to ProPresenter 7 from ProPresenter 6, which is what you're seeing right now. ProPresenter 7 looks pretty wildly different than ProPresenter 6 did. So ProPresenter 6 looks like this. We have our preview screen over here versus now the preview screen is over here. We have our kind of slides in the middle. Our slides are still kind of in the center there. We had our playlists on this side right down here. But now in ProPresenter 7, our playlists are kind of small and right here, and then the playlist spills itself out right here. So just kind of a few differences here, and I basically just wanted you to see this so it's not the first time that you're seeing it. So I'm just going to kind of walk through a few things, and I'll tell you about a few of the upgrades, but we'll go into more detail when I get back from paternity leave. I am hoping to have some sort of like a training night where I get all of the ProPresenter people into the sanctuary, and we actually get hands on keyboards and mice and are able to kind of full-fledged like try it before you're running it live. So let's go take a look at this. So one new upgrade here is the preview screen on this side, but the key thing is this. You can click right here and you can look at your different screens. So if you want to see what Zach is seeing on the stage display, boom, it's right there. And I'm just going to load up. So this is the current slide. This is the next slide. If you want to see what's on the projector, it'd be something like that. If you want to see what's on the live stream, it looks like this. Now you might be saying, well, wait a second though, this looks really different because of this green screen. I will get to that in just a second. The second thing that you're really used to are these playlists here. I'm hoping to have these all set up. The verses are really the kind of question mark there because I don't get those until like Friday or Saturday before a Sunday service. So most likely these will not be in here. I'm going to talk to Zach, see if he can put them in before, but I'll walk you through how to do that because it's not crazy complex. And in fact, ProPresenter people used to do it every Sunday morning until I started doing it. So I think it's pretty easy. But yeah, we will take a look at that in just a second. So kind of your slides up next, which is the center part, which is what's right we're used to here. You can kind of see some of those similarities here with the different colors and different things like that, but just a little bit different. Spacebar still works to be going forward there. Otherwise, your right and left arrows also still work. All that stuff there is the same. Now, you might be saying, Colin, this setup looks really different. Well, it's because of this green screen piece here. And the reason that we have it green is because actually when we get to our live stream, we're actually taking that color and we're actually keying that color out using a chroma key. And so basically it's removing all of the screen and just leaving us with this black bar here so that we can lay that video on top of the footage. So it's called chroma key. That's probably most of what makes this look so crazy different is this that you're not used to seeing this background or seeing these kind of black backgrounds here like you would in Pro 6. But just know that that's kind of part of the live stream thing there. That may be going away as we actually get onto the projector again, where you'll see it more in kind of this view. But I still have to play with that to make sure it works how I want it to. It should. But until I see it, I am not going to go into detail there. The next big change is this. So it's this row here, which is actually really nice because before when we had to edit something, like let's say that there was something wrong in this, we kind of have to right click or two finger click and go into edit slide. Well, now they made a button for it right there. You just click the edit button and it jumps you right into the editor. You can go through and you can edit that song. You can choose any of the slides and go through it and do that stuff. Once you are done, you'll just click this show button, and that will get you right back in this kind of show view, is basically what they're calling it. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is Bible verses, because that's a thing that seems the most up in the air to me. So these are other verses from different messages that David did. But I just want to show you kind of what we're going for here. So basically one blank screen here so that nothing is showing on the screen until we get to David saying, hey, I want to show you Isaiah 9, 1 through 2. And then you'll click over and you'll start showing those verses just like normal. And then when you're done with it, you'll just go to the next slide, which will be another blank one there. So a couple of things here. Notice that we're going to max out at 3 lines of text, and our reference is bolded. Besides that, all the theme, which is this thing here, I have this lower thirds verses theme that all should be applied and kind of universally making all that stuff the same. But so if you're looking to add a Bible verse, you just click on this one up here, and then from here you can either copy and paste it in. You can type it. You can also click it from this drop down and choose the chapter and choose the verse. I'm just going to use Genesis 1:1 here because I've got it all good to go. Now all this stuff I think should be set up and should be good to go. So your last step is just to go and click this Save As, and you will save it to a playlist. And so Veronica, you'd be saving it to the 3rd. John, you'd be saving it to the 10th. Let's say that it's a verse for the 3rd, so you'll just click on it there, and you will notice that since I'm in my playlist of the 3rd, that it popped up right over here. So then from here, like, hey, I need to edit this, and I can't get there. Remember that you're still in the Bible row here. Just like if you're in the show row here, you wouldn't necessarily be able to go through and edit this. You have to be in the edit thing here. So you just go to here, and you would have your verse. And the 2 things that you'll need to change about this is just deleting that gap and then making sure that this gets bolded. Depending on if the passage is longer or not, you might have to do some kind of copy paste work to kind of move stuff around. So once you're done with this, you just go back into show mode, or if you have more Bible verses, you'll just click on there. Let's say that you do have a longer passage, something like this. It should auto kind of be breaking it up into the verses here, and I don't know why this is taking so long, but yeah, it should be kind of auto breaking it up into the verses here. There we go, finally. And so then same thing, I'm just going to add this to the playlist. So I'll add it to that same playlist. It's going to drop in here. And then, of course, you would just go and stick those in between your songs. You should have 2 songs out front and 1 at the end. So here, I would just go into here, and I want to go back in my edit mode. So I'm going to go back into edit. And now I've got all my verses, and I can mess with them. So, everything here is looking good. Sometimes, for some reason, it tries to put more than 3 lines on there, and then it just gets cut off. So I just kind of click through it and make sure that it's only doing 3 lines, and then all this stuff is good. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to say is that sometimes, specifically on the word Lord, they will for some reason in this version. This is another thing that I haven't quite figured out in the 6 days since I've had it. They will have it be underlined as a default. I would like that to not be underlined like as a default. So just if you see the word Lord that is underlined, you can remove that. So you'll just go through and check all this stuff, and then get down to the end here, and you can just delete this space and make this bold. If you want to get extra credit points here, this is kind of a lame slide because there's like 10 words on there. I might go and even try to make sure that my slides are kind of transitioning nicely on kind of whole words or basically something like that. So like here, I might go after this comma just to give me a little bit more text onto that next slide, and then I'll just copy and paste that into here, and now it just looks a little bit better there. And And again, you can do stuff like this just to add a little bit more and make it not quite so, I don't know, square. If you don't do this, it is seriously not a big deal. So so that's kind of everything. I think that realistically, that I'm hoping that this will just be all set up and you'll just be going straight through. If you do need to add verses, just reference that, or yeah. But I think the only thing that you should have to do is maybe add a verse or two. And the thing that I forgot to do on this is I forgot to add those blank slides. So let's go back into this here, and this is just how I do it. I would just duplicate this, and so now I've got two. And so now I've got two of the exact same thing here. And then I'll just delete this out of here, and you can see that I deleted my text, and now I'm deleting my rectangle or my blankness there. And then you can just copy and paste that up to the top, so that you've got kind of that kind of clean entry, and then the verses pop up, and then you've got the clean exit coming out of it there. So long story short, it's summarized. You just go into Bible, you'd find your reference, you will save it to your playlist. Once it's in your playlist, you'll need to edit it, which is basically just add blank slides to the front and the end, and then just delete the extra space and make this in bold. Ideally, kind of making these slides fill out a little bit nicer is also great. So that is everything there. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to ask me. I would love to help out. Yeah, I will respond if I can. It kind of depends on what's happening in my life as far as baby goes. But definitely reach out, and you can definitely ask Zach too. He definitely has his hands on this as well. So that's it. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much.